Good.
Okay. Yay, we call to order. Let's start our meeting by going around the room and introducing ourselves. I'm Linnea Madison on Lake Park Drive.
Scott Conrad, Doug Pickens. Dave Congeezer, City of Tumwater.
Tom Sparks, Barnes Lake Condos.
Sharon McCafferty, Daisy Lane.
Patrick Soderberg, City of Tumwater.
Rusty Weaver, Lake Terrace Drive.
Kathy Peterson, Lark Street.
Dana Day. Oh, Clark Street.
Park Street.
Mark.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh,
we
Bark.
got barking dogs.
Oh, you guys call it Mark.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna review the agenda from the meeting on November 12th. I'm sorry, no, we're reviewing the agenda for tonight. Does anybody have any additions?
I had an addition that, at the end of the meeting, I would like to, have the discussion about the future agenda items, like when we say the next meeting date is, March 4th. I'd like to add items that, we are looking forward to discussing in March.
So would it be under the category of next meeting dates
Yeah, I thought it fit under 9, but
as kind of a permanent-
future, yes,
Future agenda.
so that we keep rolling.
So next meeting date slash.
And I guess now we can do, like a Roman numeral thing, like 4A, we don't have to have a and B.
If
Seems
there's
like
no B,
here-
there should be no A.
Well, there is under number 4. So I thought maybe it was new math.
Oh, it's an A.
Yeah, but there's no B.
I see. Oh my
That's-
gosh.
That's to
Sorry.
provide,
You are a secretary.
that's to provide the link. So in here you can click on the link.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's overdue.
What are you doing? Wait.
Oh.
The concept of having 4A without having to have 4B.
No, but
But
also,
there's-
I didn't know you could just go to that.
Yes.
Very.
But it creates a hyperlink. So is there a way to?
Yeah, so I was just doing 9A would be the future environment. Oh. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Is that the only agenda comment?
What?
Okay, let's go to the next thing.
Hearing none.
Okay, the approval of minutes from the last meeting, November 12th.
Dana, did you look at the minutes?
Yes.
Did you notice you weren't there?
I can't hear you. What?
You were not there. Your name
No,
wasn't
I
on.
wasn't.
But you were here, you were there on video, right? I have you listed as on. video.
November, I think I was.
Yeah, I have you, Carissa and Lalani. As Zooms.
Okay, anything else to fix?
I had a thank you on the minutes, appreciation for having the page numbers. That is really, really helpful. For the family following for, oh, need to be stapled. So I appreciate that, thank you.
So are we done?
Well, I added Dana.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make that addition before I submit them to our recorder. The city clerk, I guess.
We need a motion.
Approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes as amended.
A second.
All in favor?
Scott, do you want to talk as a member of the public or you want to just wait as your contractor?
Oh.
You're the only member of the public.
Got his own
Yeah, go.
category, yeah, so
Doesn't matter.
we could just probably skip public comment tonight. Any member comment?
Lisa,
Like, looks
I'm
great.
happy.
And
Really
that was
was
about-
worried it wouldn't happen.
the fastest filling of the lake I think I've ever seen, so
Yeah,
we'll be
it's-
curious to see the lake data.
One of the wettest Decembers we've had,
Yeah,
so.
in January.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having that snow, having that ice, well, a little bit of ice.
Wish we had some more snow.
Okay, and I guess this is a follow. We have not done blip this year. The weather was so completely uncooperative. There was no day when anyone really wanted to do it. So we're keeping our options open. Doesn't have to happen in December, but
Do what? What is it?
the Barnes Lake Illuminated Parade.
Oh.
Don't worry, you didn't miss it.
Oh.
Because it didn't happen. But it might still happen. I'll let people know.
It's just, it's been so wet, you
It's
know?
been so
I
wet
think that,
and
oh, tomorrow I'll go
nobody-
out and do this, you know, which will only take 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Still.
I'm not.
Yeah, I
I don't
couldn't-
have to, I'm not going out.
I couldn't rope anyone into
Yeah.
going out in that, so.
Next 2 days. This weekend's supposed to be sunny.
It's supposed to be sunny.
Yeah.
Dusty.
I know, it could happen.
Yeah, all could come. I see.
Bring your shovels.
Okay, moving on to lake management.
So I did get the report done and sent over to these guys. I meant to print out a couple copies, but my printer was not working. So, but we were able to do a early summer and we were able to do a spring survey and a late summer survey doing biobase. We did not get points during the late summer survey because I was also applicating out of a 10-foot John boat at that time by myself. So we did not get points on that one, but we got the biobase. But actually the maps look, if we could pull up the that report.
What do you mean you did get points?
So during the spring survey, I had a GPS unit basically. And I was going around the lake and taking points of where different plants were. And there's 2 maps that are in that report that show where those plants are, show all the points and stuff. And so during the biobase survey, there's a biomass map that's made. And you can very much tell the difference between before we treated and after we treated. So that's the before map that we had. So the red indicates really high bio volume in the lake. And so that was in May before we treated.
Huh, I wonder where that is.
And then a little bit later in this report, if you go a little bit further down.
Well, and
A little further down.
Yeah.
Late summer.
Keep going.
Yeah, there we are. And that's after treatment. So you can see we greatly reduced the biomass that was there. And so I think we had some really good results with the Floridone treatment. And I don't think we're gonna have to do that for a few years. So if anything, we may need to do some spot treatments. And I'm recommending that we do those with Aquafol if we need to this year. Hopefully we don't need to, but just because Aquafol doesn't have the same thing that Dicot has, where if the sediment is stirred up, it doesn't bind to the active ingredient, so it's actually able to kill the plants without a worry of that going on. And then additionally, my recommendation is to treat again for the whitewater lily, that is remaining with the Mazamox.
Now, isn't that Lake White? It's
Yeah, that's wherever that,
wherever.
wherever that whitewater lily.
That's the big one?
Yeah, it's kind of the,
Yeah. Yes.
it's a circular shape with a deep V in it, and it's a white flower,
Yeah.
typically white or pink.
It's beautiful.
It is really pretty, but it is an invasive species.
Sure.
So wherever that is, I'll be spraying. I recommend that we treat that. And then in kind of the higher use areas, I think we should treat the the water shield if it pops back up again as well. And around,
What's that?
that's the little tiny
pancakes,
ones.
the
small lilies.
Yeah, the smaller ones. At the end of this report, I included a plant list. So that way you guys can see what plants you have. I try to put as many as I could remember seeing out there in the report. I can't remember exactly how many plants there were in there. I think there were,
Were those points? Those-
Add that right
those
to your
red
list
things?
of people who told me.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
that was water shield.
Oh.
There's a lot of water shield out there.
That's
So
what,
is this
and that's
report
what you
on-
noticed, remember at the end of the last year, you were like, all these lilies are still there. Well,
Yeah.
that's because they were the native ones.
That was 2024. Yeah.
Right.
So what are the greens?
The green is
Water lily?
Yeah.
And the yellows?
iris, yellow flag iris.
The what
Yeah,
else?
sorry.
The yellow? Oh, that's the
Yeah.
one we're trying to get to grow in all our yards, right?
Yeah.
That's,
I was like,
that's the one that we were telling Matt he needs to dig out.
Yeah, those are.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
See, we-
whitewater lily also on the islands as well. Okay, which is gonna be a tough one to get to, but see what we can do.
So is this
Yeah,
available
Oh,
to us electronically?
Yeah, this just came to us today, so Patrick was
We'll
reviewing it.
Forward it,
So-
forward it to your email group.
Yay,
Can
thank
we
you.
post it on the website too?
Do that, we'll make, Grant to do that.
Yeah, that would be really handy. So did you do like a section with recommendations this year?
Yes.
man, you're scoring tonight.
I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
So I have a question about the first maps that showed the survey that you had done of the biomass. It looked like you did not get over to our side, to the west side or to the north end of the lake.
So that is a limitation of that software. Unfortunately, if it's super shallow, it doesn't really pick up a reading that well.
Okay.
So I did try to get up. I didn't include the track lines, but the track lines actually do go up into that area, up into the north there.
Oh, I see.
And they do go over into that area as well. It's just, it didn't report it because it was too shallow.
Oh, I see, this is still water too over here.
Yeah,
Right.
And I think it's frustrating because in our end, and I think in some of the part up north, it's not really that it's that shallow, it's that we still have floating mats that kind of move up, so it makes it look like it's shallow, but if you were to stick a pole in, it's 5 feet deep. But there's not, I can understand there's not 5 feet of suspended water. But were you still able to get over into those areas to apply the what's the
Sonar.
yeah, the sonar.
During the initial application, I was able to get into those areas. During the bump application, I had a little bit harder time getting all the way up into the north because there was no water all the way up into the north. But I was able to get most of that area that's there. So as I was applying, I was also doing this biobase as well.
Okay.
So that track line would run all the way up through.
It seemed like things were killed this, the vegetation was killed, so I figured you had, but I wanted to make sure we did let everybody know.
Yeah, we're kind of that honeymoon phase now, where there hasn't enough sun
Yeah.
to start
Yeah.
growing algae.
And
And it's just like, oh, it's. what a
it
nice day.
always looks good this time of year. But it also seemed, from my perspective, that things were extra dead at the end of last season. That even the floating mats that would normally have growth on them were just brown muddy mats, so it seemed like it was effective treatment, but this spring and summer will. Sure.
The floating mats are still the decomposing old
Bottom of the
bad
lake,
stuff.
roots and,
So it's gotta
Just
be
that-
gone at
just-
some.
no, it's just breaking off of the.
Yeah, okay.
You need
Because
to come
there
over
used
and
to be
see it,
big
really.
one.
You need
Well,
to
there
come.
used to be big one, right?
Yes, oh, yes, really big. They've become less, well-formed and kind of more dirt and mud and less roots and.
Mine,
Not
I
yours.
saw lots of roots. So it looks like Troy joined us.
Troy
Uh-oh.
here. Hi, Troy.
I'm present finally.
Yes.
And then I was also recommending that we do some trials with the muck biotics as well in certain locations. Just to try to do like kind of just a test plot, just to see how well they would do in the lake itself. They are kind of lake dependent a little bit, from what I found.
So what is this?
So it's the muck biotics that eat the muck away and stuff like that. I was kind of thinking maybe near Dana's house, near where we launch. So that way we were able to get into the lake a little bit easier. So that way we can see results and things like that in that area.
What is the process for doing that? You just toss them into the lake or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
actually. I mean, that's really kind of how you do it. I'm gonna have to update the permit a little bit and get it, so we can get those on there. But yeah.
We'd love to try it over on our site too. I think like. My neighbor to the right, Chuck, has good access. I do too, but if there's a chance to do it more than one location, we'd volunteer for that as well.
Oh, this is a test.
Yeah.
So here was my thought on it, because everybody pays into the LNB, but this would be really a specific gain that we would start with Dana's, because that's the one location that the entire LMD benefits from, because it's the boat launch that he uses.
Okay.
And so if we're gonna just do a trial, I would prefer to do it in a place that everybody benefits from. And then we have to figure out a strategy if it works well, because we can't do a huge area because of that degradation of the oxygen. You're gonna deplete the oxygen in it. And that's, remember, we talked about aerators and all that kind of stuff. So we would have to figure out a game plan if it works effectively, and this is something that we want to do, that we would have to move it around and do spot. And then that's gonna have more individual gain until we can do a lot of it, right? And so that's why I would say that if we're gonna just do a test plot, instead of benefiting one person, let's pick a spot that benefits everybody. And if it works well, let's strategize for the next year of how we spend everybody's money in a strategic pattern. Does that seem reasonable? I mean, this is your
When
money.
you say we do spot, do you mean this year, next year,
Correct.
like that? So it's not.
Because you can't do a whole lake application, because what happens is this bacteria
Right.
eats it, but then it also needs oxygen to stay alive. And so as it's eating your nutrients, it's consuming the oxygen in the lake.
Sure.
And you will deplete an area of oxygen. And if there's fish and stuff in there, they will die, or they have to move away. So that's why you can't do a giant place unless you introduce air. We're not at a point that we can do an aerator yet. So let's do a small enough plot that we don't worry about the harm it may do to oxygen depletion, because it's small. And then we see if it works.
So
And
is
then
that
we,
something we could do a motion about, so that it shows that we really discussed this and we're all in accord.
What do we do as far as how does it go for like accepting the plan, the veg plan, his treatment plan for this coming year?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's,
Well,
That goes-
yes, at one time,
makes sense.
I invited to have a lot of mats put up into our backyard. And eventually we benefited, but it was really muddy and, you know. But then I think other people, and partly because we have a pretty low water table.
Mhm.
And so it was easy to get all those islands into our backyard. But people, I guess we maybe hadn't talked about it enough, because some people felt like, they wanted that to happen at their yard. And we hadn't had group discussion about that. And I think over time, you know, if I don't.
I'll give them a rake if they want to start raking it today long.
I'll give them a potato hoe.
Right.
It would be appropriate though, I understand where you're coming from, to have a motion that we all agree
No,
that
I-
Dana's
Dana,
place.
right?
Well, I'm assuming that as a group, you guys approve the plan that he has going forward.
So the recommendation
Right?
that
And it would be part of the plan.
the recommendation that he specifically calls out in his report is because we haven't all had a chance to read the report yet.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do a motion and stuff like that, then we need to know what that recommendation looks like. So, recommendation to do it around, people's swimming areas first. This is mainly to ensure that there's enough oxygen in the water for bacteria to survive. So I guess we just need to figure out what scale we wanna do this at, and then, yeah, we can make it formal.
Yeah, and also that this is something that Dana's
Yes,
on board
is
with.
Dana okay with this? I suppose.
Well, the swimming area that I know of is right out in the middle of the lake, straight in front of my property. And that's where the kids go and they swim and jump off their boats and things like that. But that's the deepest part of the lake, I believe, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need to reword that a little bit then. Reword that recommendation a little bit.
But you know, I'm open to almost anything. I mean, you use the access to my property to the lake. And so whatever you guys think is best. I mean, but it's going to be a trial, right? It's going to be just, let's see if it works. So I would go with the professionals on where they think the best way to try it to see if it works.
Okay.
And the advantage of doing it in the vicinity of the boat launch in Dana's backyard, I assume, is that we can actually measure.
Yes.
The depth of the muck before and after,
Yeah.
but that's the
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick stakes in the ground and.
So what I've done to monitor, we have a
Mhm.
core sampler basically. So we just basically take core, all the way down as far through the muck as about we can, then measure the entire depth of it. Which may not work in the distance, but and then measure how much, and then each month kind of go through and do that every single month, see what the reduction is.
Okay.
Is what I've done in the past. But if it's deeper than that core sampler, I'll figure out a different way to do it.
So when does this occur?
Okay, so you basically measure muck line instead of from the water line because the water line changes and goes down.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, until we hit the non-organic layer.
Okay.
What's the capacity of the sampler?
I think it's like 3 feet, 3.5 feet.
I mean, if you got a foot, I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Foot of muck or?
Yeah, to remove it.
Yeah.
That would be,
That'd be significant.
Oh, with a.
That would be very significant.
with the pellets. Yeah.
So also curious too,
Organisms that eat the muck.
Year over year, same spot, you keep gaining.
Okay, yeah.
So when does this occur?
Yeah.
So when the water temperature reaches above 55 degrees.
So is this something that we could move and approve now for the upcoming treatment in the year?
Sure.
Okay, so I'd like to
We're gonna
make a
send you a
motion
copy of
that
this
we
report, so you'll have it.
recommend utilizing muck biotics at Dana's where the boat launch is. And any other details about that
What's the price per application?
It varies on how big of an area it is. But to do, I haven't exactly priced out that area. That's probably gonna be probably like 600 applications, something like that,
Per application?
per application.
And now do you do it continuously until the water temperature goes back below 55, so maybe October-ish?
So once a month.
Okay.
Oh,
So maybe like 6 months of applications. roughly.
And that $600 covers an area of 500 yards by 500 yards.
no.
I'm just starting.
The lake is one thing.
I'm
It's
I'm gonna go back on pricing a little bit and just make sure. It would probably cover quarter of an acre, maybe a little less.
Okay, I don't think that's 400 by 400.
So how much money was that?
42,000.
600
400 something by
Yeah.
400 something, but not
Divided by
ours.
4,
per application.
Quarter acre, 10,000 square feet, 200
Yeah,
by
probably.
500.
It'll probably start in late May.
So it's a
is what we're getting.
$3,000. Yeah, I was gonna say to set a maximum budget for what we're willing to spend on that. Or-
Well, okay, so typically when we approve a treatment plan, does that come with, like, do you give us a table? And say, I propose to do this, that'll be this many acres, and we're gonna do this, so that we can just have like a table and.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Yeah, at the next meeting, I'll have that prepared.
perfect.
Must be 100 by 100 quarter acre.
Is that about what it is?
What do you mean by you recommend use small areas around people's swimming areas?
Basically out in front of people's parcels or.
Yeah, that's
Straight
typically
out.
what I would recommend for other lakes. I guess I wasn't entirely thinking of how shallow your guys'
We
lake
don't
was,
have a
but
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because-
I would typically around
But it changes throughout the summer.
Yeah.
After a while, it's way out.
So typically what I mean by that is around people's docks and like around people's like
Oh, okay,
shoreline frontage there.
okay,
That's typically what I mean.
okay.
But since we're gonna do a trial, what we decided to do was do it in the one spot that's mutually beneficial to everybody on the lake.
middle?
Well, just straight out in front of Dana's, because that's the lake access,
Oh.
you know, not for everybody, but.
Yeah,
but
okay,
for
got it.
treatments,
Okay.
and that way, if it works well, it increases the time in which he can launch his boat,
Right,
you know, which is significant. And then if it works well, then we can figure out a strategy for future years.
got it, okay.
So is there enough of a motion that you guys can?
Well, I think what I
think we're
heard
gonna
was
do
that
some
we're gonna
table.
go and we're gonna get, for the next meeting, he's gonna give us.
Well, good. Muck biotics.
Is that a company name?
Yes.
Is it a
It's a product.
Buck Biotics?
So it's from Natural Lakes is the name of the company that makes it. So
Is it kind of like the bacteria in a septic system that just eats all organic waste?
similar,
Probably not unlike it.
probably pretty similar.
Probably just a different
Different strain.
brand.
Maybe not.
Same stuff.
That's what they know.
It's probably where the company started.
Yeah, I don't know their history perfectly honest.
Right, well, as a health department person, we always tell people, please don't buy that, please don't buy that, please don't buy it. The
Don't buy
record-
what?
The stuff that you
septic
put in your septic tanks, because you basically you pulverize it and it goes to your drain field. And you're just gonna clog your drain field. Your stuff's gonna get pumped out of your tank anyway, leave it there.
I see.
Okay, was there anything else that we really wanted to spotlight in the annual report.
I don't think. I think that's all I had.
Well, did
So-
you guys have any questions about what happened at the
So-
lake, about the treatment or the, anything?
Yeah.
This is your perfect time to
You
ask.
mean in the past?
No, this year.
So in front of my place, there was that bladder wart all over the place and, you guys did a nice job of getting rid of that stuff and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
It's all gone
That's
now.
good. That's
Yeah.
what I aim to hear.
Scott's scoring tonight. You got
See,
it.
that's why he doesn't come to every meeting. He goes and he just slam dunks one.
Yeah.
So will you be able to, on March?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could review the report and then ask questions in March.
We got the war.
I have all finished on my calendar now, so I have all on my calendar, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
good.
we do have Carissa joining us tonight. Hi, Carissa.
Oh, hey.
Add her to the meeting. minutes.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Sorry, it's been a whirlwind day for me, and so I was glad Tom messaged me about it. I'm actually all the way down in Scappoose, Oregon right now, so yay for Zoom.
Hey.
Yes. Nice you could join us.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, there is one other thing. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, drone thing. We are working on getting that license, so I'll have more of an update in March, for that.
Okay, so that's not for sure.
Correct. Yeah, I didn't want to put anything recommendation wise in there that wasn't for sure, so, that might be an option for March, so.
So in the newsletter, we shouldn't say anything about
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause I'm looking forward to writing something about it.
Cool.
Are you the people that there, last year I saw some gal jumping out of a boat and she'd come up into your yard and put a piece of paper on your yard and I'm like, who is that person jumping out of a boat into my yard?
With notification.
Yeah, it just comes through.
Where's the piece of paper? Anyway, okay,
Yeah,
That's your
we're
legal
required-
obligation.
Yeah.
yeah,
Required
okay,
from the state to do that. So
okay.
we gotta put a sign on everybody's property.
Yeah, we used to get it at our.
The front door, yeah,
Oh,
it used to
really?
come to the front door, so that's what, when I saw this person.
That's
usually where it is.
Yeah.
Like a week later or something.
Yeah.
Like hiding back there.
It's cause I saw this girl, going out of a boat into my yard, and I'm like, is that just
Is
go
there a
into my
problem
yard?
doing it up the street?
Yes, so actually, the permit requirement is that it's within 25 feet of the shoreline.
Oh.
Because that's what they're trying to caution you about, is that there's herbicides in your lake now. That's the whole point.
Trying to make it sound like it makes sense.
Sorry.
I was gonna say something that's mean about governmental
That's okay.
operations, but.
I would take it in stride. I guarantee you it's not in the top 20 worst I've heard.
Okay, so that covers the annual report, but we do have time to review it at our leisure and ask more questions at the March. Something. meeting.
March 4th.
March 4th. Okay, well then we're cruising on to lake data.
All right.
Record setting pace at which the lake filled up this year.
Let's see here if I can shrink all these people down.
Throw them in August.
Yeah, so, yes, if it has felt a little bit damp lately, you're right. So I pulled I was just curious, I pulled the data from the Olympia Airport just for December. And, so I looked at our wet season, October 1st through current, and we're about 5 inches above normal already. The period of time, December 6th through December 10th, we had 6.33 inches of rain. So that's a lot.
What is that? Atmospheric river?
Yeah, that was when we had that. And I think at that point in time for December, normal is like 2 inches for that period. So it was well above normal. So yeah, your lake filled up pretty darn quick. So
Where are we now?
this was as
I
a,
imagine you're at the green line.
No,
We're very
That's a
close.
bank, aren't we?
that is
We're
the,
about that far. But
Sure, yeah.
this is where we're at right now. So we're still on the upswing.
Where are you?
Oh, so December just hasn't gotten on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was like the date, it didn't get on there, but it's like
Right.
mid-December is when I pulled this
Okay.
information, so.
It's a little.
it came up steep.
Yeah, it went fast, and it's climbing, but as you can see, during the summer months, this is where we at the, I was gonna say height, but it's not the height of the summer, it was the low point of the summer. And as you can kind of see, I mean, we're missing this chunk of data in 2024, I guess it was.
yeah.
But you compare that to previous years and it's about a foot below where it normally has been. So it was dry this summer.
Very good.
Very dry.
Yeah, another interesting thing would just be to compare the date of the low points from each
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
We think that the low point is gonna be getting lower as time goes
Oh,
on, but the question is it gonna be about the same time of the year, or is it gonna shift?
I did that actually. And oddly enough, October 24th was the date we started to see the upswing. And it was like October 24th through year after year.
It looks pretty steady.
It was
We've always
really
said
good.
it starts to fill up at Halloween.
Yep.
It starts looking good by November, and then by
Yeah.
the end of the year, it's usually
Yeah. So it takes a little bit for things to get saturated. Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
We had a long way to go this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think this year was maybe October 26th or something, but these past three valleys here in this data have been October 24th. So kind of weird, but very consistent. Temperatures. I mean, we're still kind of just right. I mean, this is a really predictable pattern. The new Hobo data monitor kind of gives us a little bit more spiky data, but the line of best fit still stays the same. So
It was kind of record setting though, this last summer, the temperature,
yeah, it was
almost 80
actually, you can
degrees.
kind of see here. Yeah, you're right. It was, the highs were pretty high.
When you get your shallowest water, you're gonna get your hottest water.
I think, yeah, I pulled up that data point at one point too. I think it was 80 or 83 or so. It was
Wow.
hot.
The lake itself,
The lake water.
Wow.
So.
no trout in your lake.
That's right.
So that's kind of it right now. We just hired 2 new inspectors this week, so that will free me up a little bit more to do some lake monitoring for volunteer lake monitoring again this year. So it's gonna be a positive for us this year. So I anticipate we'll have some more fun data to play with.
Did we move on to the work plan? Is that where we are?
Not yet. I was just finishing up the lake
Data.
7B.
yeah, let me get back up here.
There's more B, more B
There
to
we
go.
go. Yeah. So yeah, that's the lake data update for now. And yes, this one will. Any questions on lake data? Anything? DO is gonna be important and interesting to measure the dissolved oxygen for the Buck Valley this year.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I was looking at, do you guys have nutrient data also?
Some, I wanna maybe pick your brain a little bit about some of the lab results we've been seeing past. Because we've been getting some non-detects. Not right,
Yeah.
so, and maybe I'm not reading the data right, or the lab reports right, I don't know, so. Okay, we can talk about some of the point.
Yeah.
Wasn't it because we did different speciation of phosphorus?
We added orthophos,
Yeah.
phosphorus.
Right.
But yeah, I was still not clear on the results we were seeing. So
And we did not do any sampling this year, 2020,
We did one day, I believe you guys got out there, didn't you?
one day.
I did it.
Okay. Or early, real early.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, there's water in
It was like.
it.
I have a question so I was told to put lime on my grass in the fall. Is that bad for the lake if I put lime on my grass?
No.
No.
What it does is it helps your vegetation uptake nutrients better.
Okay.
And so as long as you don't over applicate, which you put an insane amount of lime on when you put it on. I couldn't believe how much you put on, and it's an actual like legitimate application. It requires a ton.
Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't run off in, so don't do it right before rain or anything like that. Or if you do put it on, maybe wet it in. That's the only thing you want to not have happen.
And I mean, worst case scenario, buffer the pH in the lake is probably cool.
Yeah, because normally these little lakes get real acidic, right? So the lime helps neutralize it a little bit and actually helps bring it back towards normal or towards.
You probably get a whole bunch of vegetation starting the first 2 feet of your water column.
Don't we hit that on pH of lake? Because that was one of the things that they were measuring.
Yeah, we've seen that.
I was looking
Yeah,
for
pH, yes.
Yeah.
pH. Actually, Bladderwort is.
It's on the
indicative
combo meter, isn't it?
High pH or low pH.
Is
It wasn't on the
Oh,
other.
it is?
They
Oh,
prefer.
we have that.
Yeah, they prefer acidic.
Yeah, low pH being acidic. Yeah.
And so my lime wouldn't be doing that, it'd be doing the
No, it's
opposite.
good to
No,
know.
it's like the line.
Although it really, the reason they call it lime, and I'm thinking of lime acidic, and so I always have to really
Yeah.
think,
Stone lime,
yeah.
Yeah.
not fruit lime.
And that is true. It's a base.
Having some of that in
Don't
your
put it in
drink
your
won't
eyeball.
help you with, what is it? What?
Sure.
Scurvy. Won't help you with scurvy.
All right, moving on to
It
the
all comes together.
2026.
That's why you drink rum.
So this looks a little different. I cleaned up a little bit from years past. We'll interface with council as necessary. I think we've already filled did we do our nominations for vacancies and stuff last
Yes.
meeting? So that's good. We're gonna, later in the agenda, we're gonna assign the newsletter articles to LMD members.
So on the first ones, was the annual work plan and operating budget, was that done, submitted?
Not yet. They've just gotten back from their holiday recess,
Yeah.
essentially.
Even the budget, they didn't even update yet. So we can't even give you an update on the budget right now because the information they gave us wasn't amended.
Well, and there's a part in the budget that we get that's very, very faint. I can't read it.
It's because it's not real.
Thank you for that.
It's projected. And until it becomes real, then we put in the real number because we project what we think it's gonna cost and then we get the bill and then we amend that.
To give it a little more ink.
Yeah.
They might do it seems like.
Right?
Also, I had a
It's like, if I
question.
don't buy this, I might be able to pay for that.
What is the SOP?
Oh, review.
Standard operating procedures.
So, in terms of that, that's when you're getting the preparation for the volunteer, which is going out and sampling, right?
Yeah, so then, we'll check on, we'll contact the lab and make sure they've got bottles for us and make sure our equipment's working and the probe and whatnot. And yeah, we'll start rounding up bodies for volunteers. And making sure we have internal capacity to do that, which it looks like we're gonna this year, so.
Well, because last year we were ready to have people launch off of our dock and then I guess that communication never occurred.
Yeah,
We had a lot of significant hurdles last year for staffing.
yes.
So it was, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something where you were looking for a place and we didn't
Oh,
respond.
no, it was a staffing issue.
Because
Big
it's
time.
got offers still stands.
Okay.
And, because we're out into lake a little bit, so access.
We're trying to use the approved access at Dana's.
Sure, I
As
understand.
much as we can.
And we're just trying to be good
Yeah.
helpers.
So I appreciate that, yeah. So yeah, so that's where we're at this month and next month. I think the big one we're gonna be gearing up for is the IVAMP update this year. So we're gonna have to, once we get past the newsletter, and whatnot, we'll start looking at that RFQ, the request for qualifications for the.
Yeah, all your acronyms up there.
I know.
There's the RFQ for the JVNP and the, okay, right?
Integrated Aquatic Vegetation Management Plan.
Okay, got it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of our, our guiding document.
Okay.
For the next.
Basically lets you set your goals for how you want to manage your lake.
Okay.
You
For
know,
how long is that?
10 year
10 years?
period, I think.
Is it 10 years?
So yeah, we'll solicit some, information and feedback from this group and see where that leads us.
The good thing is, the last time you guys probably looked at your IVAMP, it was focused on noxious weed control and nuisance weed control. Now you have a really good handle on your nuisance. You have no noxious weeds left. And now you have, bladderwort and fragrant water lily as your nuisance weeds. And, now that you've done a full lake control of the bladderwort, you're really just spot treating. So you really can start looking at bigger goals. How do we want to manage this lake? We're looking at nutrient reduction for the first time. We're kind of shifting away from just pure vegetation management to how do we want this lake, to be? How can we better utilize it? What do we need to do for that? So that's one of these directions going in this muck biotics. If this works, maybe we can increase some depth, get you guys a little bit more room in the lake, so that's what the IVAMP does. It allows you to kind of put your goals for management.
Yeah, I mean, people were. Well, we're not, never mind.
We're not people now suddenly.
So to clarify, the first step in the process is the RFQ, which is where we're just asking for.
Solicit bids. Well, we're not even bids. They have to, the qualification just says, we've done these before. Here's the agencies or lake districts that we have created these management plans for. And then basically that's what they do. They say, we're awesome at it. No, we're awesome at it. No, we're awesome at it. And then we go and we interview them and we pick the most awesomer one.
Oh.
So they don't submit a bid for doing it with a price.
For a qualification, you cannot ask them for price. And RFP
Right.
is specifically based on, we know you can do it. How much can you do it for us? So if you don't know, if you do an RFP, anybody can send it, and they may have never done a plan before. So if you're not convinced that, if your goal is to ensure that the person writing your plan is qualified, then you do an RFQ.
So you do an RFQ and then select multiple qualified companies?
You interview multiple, yes.
So we already have a company right there?
We are a government and we can't just pick whomever we want. We have to go through the legal process.
What years?
We'd hire Dave's brother like for everything.
Fucking everything, so it'd be awesome.
We recorded.
I'm gonna get that. Why we don't do that? I didn't say that's why we do. True.
We'll say that we'll be putting with.
Yeah, RFQ, we
Right.
fully expect that it will come from, one will come from Aquatech, so one will come from.
And so once we get 3 different companies to submit their RFQs and we decide that one of the 3 is a better candidate, How do we know how much it's gonna cost? At what point do?
After you hire them.
What? Oh, really? Is
I
that
usually ask
only
the
way
price
to
of the
go about
contractor
this?
as part of the bid.
Pardon?
Is that the only way to go about this?
If it comes up too high, you can reject it.
Or you negotiate.
Oh,
Can you do the
I mean,
RFQ?
basically what we would do is figure out about how much do these things cost.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes in 10 times higher, then we're not hiring them.
Can you just get the RFQ process, get your 3 qualified companies and then give them the RFP?
No.
Why not?
Because
Is that specifically not allowed?
once you start the process, you have to go through that process.
It'd be
And that is the only
RFQ
process.
first.
Can't do both.
Was that the legislature's intent?
I don't know.
It seems like to require to accept the price of a qualified but not competitive vendor is contrary to what the intent of the
We'll see
rule
what's,
is about doing competitive bids.
so when you select your candidates or your preferred contractor, then you go into negotiations about price and whatnot, and you develop a scope of work and an agreement and stuff like that.
Okay, so we can take the 3 qualified companies and negotiate with all 3 of them at the same time.
No.
No, just negotiate the one you selected.
You negotiate with one.
You interview them and then they explain what they do.
Wasting time on me, sorry.
If you want to research the differences before it and then give us a summary at the next meeting.
So once you get to that point where you're negotiating and stuff, you're negotiating a contract essentially. So that's when you get to the end of that, you sign it away and then you're kind of locked.
So we'll.
You should see the type of prices I get for my projects.
So if-
My RFQ is between 2.2 million and 2.6 million. That's they have to come in between there. And if they do, I have to hire them.
Will Tom and I be in on the process of negotiating the contract for the or for the IAVP?
We could have that interview process be with this group or a subset of it.
I think everybody would like to know at least who wants to work with us. So.
I feel very unqualified to participate in any judgmental way. I don't, I just don't have enough biology background to know if it's a qualified candidate or not.
But
Well, when we get there, we'll have a conversation like this and we'll figure out who wants to be involved and who does not want to be involved.
when do
And
you
no one
expect that
has
would
to be involved.
When do you expect that would?
So we're gonna draft it in, oops, this thing's going backwards on me. We're gonna draft it, we're gonna issue it in July, August. We're gonna issue contract in September, October, so we should have something in place by, but it'd be nice to have that all squared away before the holidays.
And that's for 2027.
So sometime between August and September, we would be doing those interviews.
So to be clear, this is not for treatment.
No,
Correct, this is for writing a document.
Yes, what the future looks like. Did somebody say it's a 10-year?
Yes.
So is that? Do we have 10 more years on?
It's 35, I believe.
We have what?
Are you talking about the steering committee itself?
Goes to 35.
So the question, will this be the last IAVMP?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I mean,
For this charter or whatever, yeah,
Well, we had
And then
it was a
it's-
30-year.
redo it.
I'm just doing my head in the head that the first IAVMP was in. Was it 07?
Yeah.
Okay. So it ends in 30.
We're at 19 now.
there was a.
We got 16 to go.
There was
Or
an update there
30.
somewhere too.
So we got 11 to go.
Let's see, yeah. Oh,
So I'm just trying to get all the math to work out. Because the IAVMP I thought was a 10-year renewal.
Oh, I've seen it go 20 years.
Well, yeah, in the olden days.
Oh, Not
Now?
olden days.
No, now.
I guarantee you, Scott can name a whole bunch of lakes that don't have an IVAMP that's within 10 years.
Yep.
And I won't tell you to name them either.
Basically, it's our plan for what we want to do.
Correct. Yeah, and set your goals.
And
What
this is
are your,
just-
what are your lake management goals? I mean, it's a good thing, no matter what, it's a good
It's a good
thing
thing,
to
yeah.
revisit and say, what do we want to do differently? Or maybe we don't want to do differently. So between now and August, read your old one. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you think needs to be changed?
What's
How do you,
changed?
yeah, exactly.
And IVAMP, is that unusual? I mean, do most, I mean, it's a fairly common, but
You have to have it.
I mean, do half the lakes have one?
If you
You
have
have
a
to have
lake
one.
management district and
Like,
you are
I see.
utilizing herbicides, you have
I
to
see,
have one.
I see.
And this will be a revisiting of the IAVMP. They're not starting from scratch.
Correct, you guys already have one. So that's the, you know, you
Okay.
can think of it as a revision, you can think of it as an update. You know, for the most part, the history, the background is all the same. So really, what are the components in it that read through it and go, does this reflect today? Or has this changed? And if so, what has changed and what do we want to do?
Where do we get a copy of that?
Send it out. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay.
It was issued April 1st, 2016, and Herrera did the last one.
It's not available through the city website, Lake Management District.
On this.
Page.
Yeah.
On this.
Yeah, but how much easier just to have a link arrive in my email?
Yeah.
He's thinking the same thing.
What can Dave do for me today?
When they send it out to Barnsley. Barnsley folks. Back out of this.
Is it also available
I have a question.
somewhere as well?
I think it's on a website.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought it-
On this, IVMP,
Yep.
if say we designate our goals and then 5 years down the road, things have changed, can we, do we have to do a whole new one or can we just add an addendum like, oh,
There-
we wanna.
It's really a generalized goal setting.
okay.
It's not like we will kill all bladderwort plants before 28 and there will never be another one. It's not like that. It's not
Okay.
that prescriptive. It's more like, our goals of the lake is to, have recreation, to be able to, maintain access for personal frontages, to make sure that, people can
That's what I-
swim and recreate in it. So we don't want vegetation to get so thick that it creates swimming hazards, what are your overarching goals of the lake?
Okay.
So like I said, the best thing to do is read it
This.
and highlight stuff that you don't like, or, what do you think doesn't reflect today? That sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, no yellow flag iron.
And that's 07, right?
Yeah, that's the first of.
That's the first one, so it's not the current.
I just sent the current one out to all your emails. There you go.
But it's similar.
Because they were both done by Herrera. The first two. I mean, the original.
I don't know who wrote the first one.
Who's Herrera?
It's a company.
Oh, okay, so
And
it's not.
they
the city.
did this,
Correct.
they did the 16.
We don't, right?
I can help you with
I
it.
just.
You guys have samples of, here's IAVMP that's really good. And then here's one for bad,
Right
so
there.
we can compare.
This is pretty,
Good one for
cool, yeah.
Herrera's a good company, so I would think that your document is probably pretty good.
And then
We paid a
all
lot.
these
Yeah.
glacial lakes are pretty similar in,
In Thurston County,
yeah.
lakes are similar in that they're all eutrophic and crappy.
Yeah.
And they all have a nutrient problem. They're all shallow and they're all filled with weeds.
So the IAVMPs are gonna be pretty similar. I think they work in
Roy, did you have a question?
Do you have my email? I'd like a copy too.
Okay.
Do we have grass carp? It sounds like they've been stocking our lake with grass carp.
I've never seen any evidence of grass carp in your lake.
supposed to be inexpensive as a method to control long-term,
Do not
I think,
do grass part.
I think that's part of the, I think that's part of the.
Those are
plan.
options.
That's the option.
Yeah.
The side-
They get out of hand
Yeah.
so quick. And the next thing you know, you got people bow hunting them to get them out of your lake.
There's a whole field of grass, I can't wait.
That's something.
Yeah, they were going through a bunch of options.
Oh, and then.
Yeah, and that's.
Rejected off.
Right, and I'm sure there's a section on dredging, I'm sure there's a,
Right.
you know, basically it's like, we could do this, but it's too expensive. We could do this, but it doesn't work. We could do this, but then you get an invasive species taking over your lake.
Massive.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
No.
But I'm on the city.
Okay, so our work plan is by and large accurate.
Yeah, it's there. There's,
Give or take.
and it's, for the most part, there's some routine and stuff in here, but, you know, I think the
Oh.
non-routine stuff is at IAVMP.
You have 2 6s for September, October.
All right, then the budget.
I can do 6, 7.
There you go, too many. Too many.
Are we still on the work?
We can be.
I think we just finished the work plan.
No, I have something more. On the September, walkabout meeting. I think that's, needs some attention or how we're gonna walk about and meet at the same time. So.
I mean,
Because I assume-
it's an official meeting in the sense that your steering committee is gathering at a specific date and doing something. So that makes it a meeting. Doesn't mean you have to talk business.
Well, we have reviewing budgetary needs of 2027. So I mean, it looks like we have to have accomplished work.
Well, we've never gone through the budget on any of the walking route. I don't understand.
So what you're saying is, I think I see what Kathy's saying is that under the walkabout, or at least at the same timeline, we're hoping to accomplish a number of things that we don't historically accomplish during.
When we're walking. So I guess I somehow had the thought that we were planning to have a meeting like a sit down thing, maybe at the church or at the condos. And then like for maybe half hour, talk about that and then start walking. But at any rate, I think if we're gonna do a walkabout meeting, we should know what we're thinking before we start walking.
Numbers 5, 6, and then the second
And,
6.
you know, I'm not saying like right now, we need to know that, but maybe we could discuss it.
So is this because we got rid of October meeting?
Yes.
And then therefore we threw October stuff onto a non-meeting day?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think I'd prefer honestly to have October meeting and just have a walkabout be a walkabout, more get together type.
Well, I guess the problem we run into there is we have a November meeting as well, so.
Oh.
for- and
So, okay, so can the October things be put on the November
Yeah.
agenda and still meet the time frame?
So maybe we could just put that as an agenda item for March. Now that, you know, so we can think these things through.
So really, it's the review compliance needs and requirements for 27 and review budgetary needs for 27. We can throw those on to this November meeting.
Thought somebody said that we couldn't have a walkabout meeting. We couldn't have a walkabout without it being a meeting.
Correct.
Right, but it doesn't mean we have to discuss business during a
Yeah.
meeting.
The city recognizes it because it needs to be open to the public
Right.
if necessary, so that's why it's a.
It's the open public format.
I just
You picked the
I just
training.
reviewed the training today, and I think it said that for it to be a meeting, there had to be a decision that was gonna be made. And if there wasn't gonna be a decision, then it wasn't a meeting. I think. I guess you gonna find out whether I was paying attention when I was looking
I'm gonna do
through
it
the
tomorrow.
power. Okay, so I think.
That's the briefing you have.
Yeah, let's just put it on the agenda for March.
Put one on the agenda.
Of what to do about this.
I think we could decide if you wanna have coffee or something else during our meeting.
I would know something else.
Yeah.
Well, that has been not.
Didn't go
proven to
well
be-
last time.
We have history on that.
Oh, okay.
The reason for this, if I understand it, is that
Like a good idea.
because as the steering committee, we can't just have meetings over at her house or something.
They gotta be public. Yeah.
I mean, that, if we are operating as a steering committee, it has to be a public
Yes.
Well,
thing.
and I forgot what, somebody made a comment, I thought last year, that said this is an official meeting. When I never said, I never thought it was a meeting.
City clerk said if it's a gathering of the steering committee,
Yeah.
it needs to be recorded as a meeting on our.
Yeah. Which may or may not be in line with what you said.
Would we just gather as
Good
friends?
luck with the city clerk.
No.
Well, see, and
I know which direction I'm gonna take. Oh, it's a meeting.
No, we can be neighbors.
So our decision will be,
Can't
do we
be
end this at 7 or 7:01?
Yeah.
Well, see, I thought that the other thought
Right?
was, that is what really engages people is walking around and seeing the lake from
Yes.
other places. So we could do like our annual meeting as a walkabout.
Well, it just isn't conducive for good conversation. It's
No.
little buckets of conversation that happen as people walk at different paces and stuff. So
And
it
it's
really
very
isn't conducive
useful.
Yeah.
for
That's very
discussion.
useful.
Okay,
No,
so that
there's
is
good
March
discussion,
agenda.
but I don't know that it's a good place to make
No.
decisions.
Right, right.
The true water guy thinks in buckets.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, March, we might be
Talk about that later.
in March.
Okay.
If you.
Either one.
Okay.
Right?
The 2026 budget, did we get an update from finance?
No, so
Lalana.
we can't do a budget update right now because the information I got is not useful.
So there's currently some staffing shortages in our finance department, so they haven't gotten to update our 2025 to 26 budget yet.
The 26, so.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Not hope for city, I mean, you know, other- there's job.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later. And how about the newsletter?
When is that
The
due?
Newsletter.
Before we get our taxes.
So we
Not tax
Assessment.
Whoa,
Last meeting, we said March 13th deadline
okay, that's for drafts.
for the drafts to Dave.
Okay.
yeah,
Sure. I mean, are we just gonna just leave it open to whoever wants to?
I thought that was an agenda item that we were going to
Yeah.
pick the people who were going to volunteer for.
Yeah.
so let me
writing
pull up,
assignments.
let's see if I can pull up our last.
I know I have a lot of pictures to use.
Pictures you good?
Just wait till we get the drone. Man.
No, Lilani sent me probably like 20 different pictures of all different times of seasons and stuff. They're fantastic.
Really?
Well, Dan's got a lot of stuff.
And then animals, that's kind of what I
Yeah.
might wanna write in there, but it's, like just the other day, there's some white duck with a black head out there.
Messengers, something like that.
And I wanna know what they are, and I'd like to like have a picture and then a little like
Dave?
thing
You're
underneath
that.
it that says, you know, this is what it is, this is, you know, they're wintering over in our lake or migrating or. They're really cool. I tried to take a picture of it today.
Beautiful.
So this
It's
is
not
last
the
year.
It's Merlin.
There's some really good ads for that.
It's not.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I got a couple of them. One of them's Audubon that I don't like. as
Anyway,
well.
So there is an app called Merlin, like the wizard, and that is a birding app. And it will identify birds based on sound.
Oh.
So
Oh,
if you
wow.
throw stuff at that bird and get it to make a sound, you might be able to figure out what it
Picture
is.
they were flying away, but by the time they're across the lake, so my little, they're funky little, they're a You know,
They're
Cam,
dark with different colors.
they're white with
But-
black head.
Mine with a dark head.
Yeah, black head and white.
iBird Pro, I really like that one better than the Audubon one, but there, you can put in some parameters and then bring up
Tell you
stuff.
what kind it
What
is.
the season, and they'll tell you what it is, yeah.
Because my son thought we had swans on the lake and someone else said, no,
There's two of them.
there's two of them.
Yeah.
They were beautiful, white, yeah.
Sometimes you get crossbred. That looks like a domestic duck crossbred with a mallard or something. So sometimes
Yeah,
you get.
but there is a way, there is it's not messenger, but it's.
Merganser.
Then.
What's that?
Merganser.
I think that's it.
See there, you can see them there. See how they're white and black heads?
Yeah, let me.
Anyway, I think that would be interesting for our newsletters to have some of the wildlife identified. So when you see this on the lake, this is what it is.
Rare.
Yeah.
These guys are the
So
mergansers.
has Rusty volunteered to write
They've
another?
I got a long fin beak because they eat fish, so they're not like the.
And there's several, there's more than one kind. though.
Yeah, you can see there's a couple of different ones. One's got a green head, one's got a red head.
Right.
Yeah,
He's definitely a black head.
This,
yeah.
what this has accomplished.
Yeah.
So you saw those two swans too?
Yeah, they were down by Jody's.
Yeah, yeah.
He sent me pictures of the lake, but it was really cloudy and all I could see were the big answers. All I could see were those. But I looked a little while later and there they were, both of them were out.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
beautiful.
They were.
But I was right.
Hey, you guys. Well, how about the beautiful eagle?
Dana's trying to ask a question.
You
Folks,
guys
it's
are
really
just
hard
chatting
to-
away, just
It's
chatting
really
away.
hard to hear
Sorry.
online when there's like
Sorry.
three different conversations
Sorry.
going on, so it's okay. But we're talking about the newsletter and newsletter article assignments. And Rusty, this is your last article, and you talked a little bit about the history of the lake and whatnot. And so I'm not sure if there's something else you wanted to cover as far as that
It's
goes.
more detailed stuff. Anyway, I haven't formulated it totally, but I've got an idea of what.
Okay, so do we want to keep you like with a lakeside perspectives piece?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got a column.
Whoa. It actually comes across that Rusty did the whole thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I take nomination that. He's the leader of the newsletter.
So I've got a wildlife identification or a wildlife corner or something like that that we can do. Does somebody want to write that?
But, my recommendation, just as a member of the public, would be do one each time. Or
just
or
one
do
bird,
a
okay.
couple or three, something that connects, because you don't want to do otters and ducks. And,
Maybe those.
I mean, it's
There's a
just-
couple others that are similar.
So, what about that?
Greenish.
Okay, that sounds good. So maybe we'll just identify two different birds that we've seen on the lake.
I mean.
Hey, you
swans, I
guys,
had no
there's a
idea.
beautiful eagle.
That's
Hello,
awesome.
beautiful eagle,
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we've always had.
beautiful eagles.
Oh,
But the migrating ones are interesting because they're only here for a month or two and then we don't see them.
We had a great
Yeah.
heron the other day as well. It was in one of the
what?
Doug firs on the north end of the property.
They're there a
What?
lot.
Yeah.
The herons.
Oh,
Yeah.
the herons.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
They are. I saw one
They
just
get-
eat
you
a
wanna
frog
put
and the main fish sticking out of its mouth, and then the whole thing, you could see it glop down its mouth.
Yeah.
You ever see those?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, you can have both.
Do we need more than kind of lakeside perspectives and then also, and you're willing
I
to
mean,
write a
that's really-
little mini column about the
wildlife?
birds?
Yeah, and Rusty's suggestion was maybe pick just a few, and so, I'll just pick a few and write, go into like a book and find out like their habits and what they are, and blah, blah, blah.
And then maybe what we could do on the website is complement that with wildlife found on Barnes Lake and then start adding pictures with, you know, bear in a tree, like we had a bear in a tree at the city hall, you know, and be like, you know, just you add to things that have been seen around the lake over time.
Database.
We had a bear down at the condos.
Yeah.
What,
10 years ago.
But still, if you have a picture of it, it can be added to, you know, kind of history of the lake. Here's things that have been seen, you know, and over time, you know, somebody 50 years be like, can you believe there was a bear around here? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much development there'll be in 50 years. And to think that bear walked up to this lake would be pretty remarkable.
Yes, it
Do
would.
you know what I mean? So that change over time might be interesting.
Yeah.
So what was the deadline on the,
I gotta put this on my
13th?
calendar to write.
The Ides of March.
How about the Barnes Lake swim team?
The swim, that, instead of blip, you could maybe do a slip.
You guys should have a race.
Well, I mean, because we do have quite a
And
few
out and
people.
back around the island.
You know,
Yeah.
I thought over the years, I wanted to print up T-shirts and just give anybody a T-shirt who could prove that they've gone swimming. But there are a lot of people now who've really gone swimming.
Really?
I've gone swimming.
Yeah, but I mean, over where we are, we
Oh,
don't see people.
not in front of my own property, out in the middle, out in the middle.
in the middle?
I swam across the lake from your house to my house across the lake
You did?
You did?
this summer, before, when there was still water, so it's only like May.
To get that perspective.
Really? Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could have Grant do a.
That's with mud and little things.
Yeah, at the end, I'm like, it would have been easier to stand up and walk, but I was done.
Based on your annual report, essentially.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'll have our habitat specialist do a habitat, he's doing a habitat at home workshop right now. And so he can write a little bit about that and the benefits of
Best practices,
yeah, some best practices for a backyard.
lakeside
Which-
best practices.
Which
Yeah.
shrubs to plant so that the beavers can come and eat them.
Yeah, beaver food, yeah.
Willow.
Have you seen the beavers? I just.
They took down a tree over our place again.
Yeah, oh, we almost had a scuffle.
4 or 5 months ago.
My dog dropped his ball
Drop it
and it
into
went
the lake?
down into the lake.
No, they dropped it against the
Right
building.
there. And then he saw the beaver and
Took a gutter down.
Poor engineer.
I didn't care.
Oh, well, there's, yeah.
Okay, so for assignments, I have Leilani doing like a wildlife corner. And it's a paragraph essentially. Rusty doing lakeside perspectives. Grant will do habitat at home. Scott will do annual report summary. And then we probably will have a little blurb about the budget or something like that about, you know, just the business side of things. That would probably round it out pretty good. If you have pictures are great, so.
Do you think we could promote participation of the walk around the lake?
Yeah, we did that towards the end last time. We did this, the annual lake walkabout. So maybe we can beef this up a little bit, to really promote the annual walkabout. Join us for the annual lake walkabout. Here's the time and place and stuff like that. It's kind of buried in this one down at the bottom. But yeah, we can
But
beef that
people
up.
really connect.
and maybe a
Yeah.
picture of everybody at the walkabout.
And they get to see
you
you
on a
from a
scooter.
lot of other
Yeah,
people's.
there is.
But all of a sudden it's like, oh.
I remember the first time.
Don't confuse it with the one where I'm dressed like a hot dog.
Dana's.
Side by side.
Yeah.
Come join the BLMD steering committee.
Yeah, no. In that case, it's, okay.
And did we have a summary of recommended steps for homeowners to take that will help the lake? Like put a lime on your yard or
Well, that's what we're gonna do, the best
clean up after your pets?
Oh, the
lakeside best practices.
Yeah,
Okay.
habitat at home. We'll kind of deal with that a little bit.
Like last year, we focused on fertilizer. This one might be a different spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the geese on our lake, are they Canadian geese?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
Canadian.
Canada.
They're all US citizens.
I say, you got a card on
You
them.
can't deport those.
Right.
I want a goose that when I was looking up in my bird book that is similar, but it's not a Canadian geese, I wanna make sure if I put Canadian
Probably not as
geese.
big.
Well,
Yeah,
It's a technical detail. They're Canada geese, not Canadian.
Exactly.
Oh,
So it's just a technical detail, and there's 5 different subspecies on the Pacific Coast Flyway.
the wildlife.
They're all over
Other
the US,
subspecies?
where I
Five
lived in
subspecies.
Colorado,
Big-
they have.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Real white breast feathers, and then there's lessers, which are a little smaller.
Yeah,
And there's the Aleutian geese, which we don't see very often, but they got a white band on their neck ring. And then there's the I'm trying to remember what the other, that's the most common one. The dusky is the one that's restricted on hunting, and it's the one that is the least suspicious of people with guns in their hands. And
That's why there aren't many of us.
that's how they get killed off usually.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then I can't remember the other, cackling geese. Those are the real small ones. They're a little bit bigger than a mallard, but they fly in the thousands. They come. I don't think we get those because
Are they all white?
no, they're Canada geese.
Okay, so they all have the same
So
color.
the all white ones are different. Those are
Are those
there's
snow geese?
there's
Snow
snow
geese,
snow geese
yeah.
that they've got black wedge on the trailing edge of the wing. The swans are all white wings.
Maybe you two can collaborate.
Speaking of, I get Tom's number.
Up in La Conner, they've got
Snow geese.
the snow.
And then there's another one called white fronted geese, but we don't see those very much.
And the swans, I think
Canada
I
geese.
saw on,
Good pair of
on
them.
well, I saw some on Capitol Lake. And
Yeah.
I thought they were either white geese or they were, I'd never
We do
seen.
see, yeah, some of the snow geese through here every once in a while, but I have not seen them on our lake.
No.
Tom, what was the one with the ring, did you say?
The Aleutian. Canada.
Aleutian. Is that like AE?
Aleutian.
ALUTIAN or something like that.
Like the Aleutian Islands in
Aleutian
Alaska.
Islands, exactly.
Aleutian
And they're named that because they nest on a couple of particular Aleutian islands, which we got in the 62 earthquake. They got sunk or raised or something and it screwed up the habitat for the Aleutian Canada geese to make their nest. And so now their nesting is much more reduced. And something about foxes figured out how to get out there or something. Predation.
Eric, just when you think things are smooth sailing.
It's like the
Aleutian habitat.
four spotted owl, you know, those cousins of the barred owl moving in and now they're hosed. Yeah,
So our next meeting,
okay.
March 4th.
Yes.
Still works for everybody?
Ready.
I have a list of things that we were gonna talk about.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Kathy
5.
wanted to add stuff to
At the next meeting.
At
meeting
the next
minutes or agenda.
So, the use of macabiotics. Biotics. Review of, Aquatechnics, report. The September meeting strategy. Firming up meeting dates. To October or not to October and things like that.
I thought we already set our meeting dates at the last meeting.
Well, if so, it says that it says finalize the meeting schedule. So are we for sure not gonna do October?
We are not gonna do October.
Okay,
We've already submitted our meeting schedule to the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going by the minutes.
But
The minutes says finalized, so we're finalized then.
What we can do though is move some of those items in the 20 or in the work plan from the September meeting time to the November meeting time because there's still end of year type stuff. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I just wanted, so the meeting schedule then will also be part of the newsletter.
Yes.
And I'll put it in on the Conservancy and.
Okay, so
And then the last thing was the March newsletter. That's gonna be on the agenda and for March.
So the 14th, yeah, it's prior to the 17th.
yeah, it'll be right before the deadline.
Okay. Those were the things that I had made notes of.
Okay, so I've got biotic walkabout format, Aquatechnics report, and March newsletter.
Yes, 4 things. Okay. Thank you.
I would like to ask a question of the biologist. Is Canada geese poop good for your yard?
Is it being put out at an agronomic rate?
It's being put out at a rapid rate, and I'm just wondering, is it healthy or?
Very high nutrients.
It's fertilizer.
It is fertilizer. I don't know if it's good for your lawn necessarily, but I know it's
It's probably a
not
little
good for
hot.
like.
Hard on your shoes.
It's
Yeah.
not good for.
The problem is that if you were to rake it out and make it smooth, then I would say probably.
That's what I do. I go rake it out.
Yeah, you go ahead and look
I
out there in
mean,
your
you don't
bare
want to
feet.
fertilize your yard every day.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I will talk to the geese about it.
Yeah.
It's better to
geese
rake
coming
it up
out.
and
Too
put
much
it in
of
the
a good
garbage.
stuff.
Plus the bees tend to graze your grass and eat the grass. So they can be really hard on my yard.
There's
Particularly if
other
there's a lot of,
downfalls.
they keep coming back.
Yeah.
Not good.
So don't rake them towards the lake.
We get like 2 pictures.
I well, that's 5
Honestly,
geese in
yes.
my yard.
This time, we have maybe a
It
dozen.
rains, that
Just
nutrients
earlier
straight
this
into your lake, and you already
the end of
have
last
a super
week,
high
something.
phosphorus
But
in your lake.
normally when it gets a little later and they've got babies and stuff, it's like 2 sets.
They fall apart. Let's adjourn that.
Okay.
We are adjourned. See you
Thanks, y'all.
March
Thank you.
4th.
Night, guys.
Thank you.
How we